New for PRS this year. Played through a couple things, here to answer questions. And if there's anything anybody wants to hear, or you want to hear some stuff side by side, I'll do my best to, demonstrate kind of, what they sound like. So if you haven't had a chance to really walk through the booth, some of the main new things, we've got some new colors in the acoustics. I'll be plugging in an acoustic in just a second. The CE is now available in a semi-hollow, which is fantastic. That's hanging up right here. There's some more over here. I'm holding a Silver Sky. Anybody had a chance to play one of these yet? They're pretty amazing. And if you've been having a hard time deciding what color you want, your job just got twice as hard because there's 4 new colors hanging up over there. I think I've memorized all the names. That's the Dodge and Blue, my unofficial favorite. Mock Sun is the kind of clayish looking one on the top right. Down below is a Orion Green and a Golden Mesa. I got those right, I think, right? I think I got them. Yeah, so they all sound, we'll listen to this one, and they all sound, I believe, the same, but they look different. They all sound great. I'm plugged into the DGT amp right now. There's a new top on the available for the SE Custom 24. There's a nice Zero Cody top. It's gorgeous. Some of the really cool signature guitars in the SEs. There's a new SE Paul's guitar. We'll listen to that, and we'll check that out against the core Paul's guitar. There's an SE version of Santana's guitar that he's been playing that's covered completely in gold leaf, but the SE version is just paint, so we can all afford one. And there's Jacko Jackchick has a King Crimson, the cover of the first King Crimson album, which is based off the P24 guitar that he's been playing live with King Crimson for the past couple years. There's a great new SE for that. So we'll have a look at all those. And the 594 hollow body. So I'll start off kind of going through the Silver Sky if you haven't heard one of these in person. And I was playing this with Paul earlier today, and he was telling me to really hear the magic of what he thinks like the vintage Strat kind of thing is like you have to play slow and you have to let the notes kind of bloom. He's like, because everything I play is like slow down, just play it, And so and he picked it up. Now, obviously, there's nothing on this. There's no gain. There's no compression. It's not even in the PA, but from quiet stuff and anything, it rings forever. If you haven't picked up one of these to bend it, even with a 7 1/4-inch radius, I've not been able to get one to fret out yet. And the action's beautiful and low. It's I grew up playing single coil guitars. I've fallen in love with humbuckers because specifically the 85 or the 5815s won me over. I discovered that I love the low output humbucker thing. But picking this back up is like home to me. This is if this guitar is I've been playing it pretty consistently since it came out as this and basically what is a 594 to me, or my two kind of desert island things. So as a comparison, let's listen to Paul's guitar and check out the single coil sounds on a less traditional, let's say, kind of humbucking pickup. And I'll talk about the pickups, what they are, kind of how we designed them. This is Rich Hannon, artist relations, dude extraordinaire. Look, he's tuning and guitar teching with an injured hand. That's dedication. How's that one look? Give it a try. All right, thank you. All right, so this is Paul's guitar. Technically a signature model. Paul is a great guitar player. He's got a band that he tours around. So these are the specs of the guitar that he plays live. He likes the switching, very similar to what came from the Signature Limited way back, and then the 408. Individual coil tap for each pickup. 3-way toggle switch, master tone, master volume. The bridge on this is aluminum, but it's got brass inserts. If you look at it closely, it's got brass inserts under each of the strings, which to him makes the notes ring more clearly, a better note definition. If you look at the SE's version of this guitar, has the exact same bridge, same inserts. The pickups were revoiced for a limited run of guitars at PRS Experience, and they called them the TCI pickups. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, Rich, but that process really started with the Mayer pickups, right? The idea of, okay. So when they started messing around with what became the Silver Sky pickups, the 635 pickups, they were really working on fine-tuning the pickups, and he kind of came up with this process called TCI, which stands for tuned capacitance and inductance. And the way Paul's kind of described it to me is it's like the difference between mixing a record and mastering a record. It's like fine-tuning. Every pickup kind of has a frequency, a note that is fundamental for that pickup. So the TCI kind of like really fine-tunes and isolates that. So these pickups were revoiced with that, and it came out as a limited run. So now for 2019, the Paul's guitar has been updated with the TCI pickups. So this is, here's the neck pickup in the humbucker mode. Huge sounding. It's different to me than a regular full-on humbucker. It's more like a P90, like a big fat P90, but there's still tons of clarity on the top end. If we go into the single coil sound, a truly isolated single coil sound, that does not sound like a split humbucker to me at all. It's a fatter sound than what you find on the Silver Sky, but still that. If I heard that, I would never think, oh, that's a split humbucker by any means. Same thing on the bridge pickup. Here is a humbucker. And then split. It has all the character of a true single coil. You know, it's probably the best single coil sound I've ever heard out of a humbucker. So this guitar, that's the U.S. core version of Paul's guitar. Also new for this year, which I think is probably one of the most exciting offerings, is an SE version of this. So like I said, same bridge, same aluminum bridge with the brass inserts, same switching setup. If you were to compare this side by side to like the typical other SEs with the carved maple top, the carve has been updated. It's a little closer to the U.S. core guitar's carve, where it kind of comes down and starts to kind of bevel back up. So the updated carve, there's also updated kind of vintage style button tuners on it. But sonically, hearing this side by side, here we are back in the bridge pickup. And then splitting that into a single coil. And then the neck pickup is a humbucker. And into a single coil. If you have a chance and pick one up, pick up an SE, pick up a core, there's obviously a difference in the feel. I mean, the core instruments are absolutely incredible. They're works of art. I would say in a blind test, a lot of people would have a hard time telling that this was an import version of that guitar. It's absolutely incredible sounding. Hey, Rich. Can we get a little gain out of that amp, or should we hit the Tremonti? So it's got a really cool, like, kind of barky P90. That's the DGT amp, by the way. That's the 30, right? Yeah. So, what do you guys want to hear next? We got a hollow body. Any guitars? Anybody have any questions about the Paul's guitar or the Silver Sky? Unless the question has anything to do with like when it'll actually be in the store or when you get into your house. I don't have that information.